be seated. Welcome to this congregation for the conferment of degrees. I'm Parveen Yaqub, I'm Deputy Vice-Chancellor of this university and Presiding Officer for the congregation. Now, graduates, your degree will be officially and formally conferred on you at this ceremony. The ceremony will be split into 4 processions, which will come up one group at a time. Each graduate will be summoned individually by name to the platform by the university orator. So please do come right up to the white line so you get a good photograph. Acting under the authority vested in me by the university, I will doff my cap by the university mace, which formally confers your award. And you will then, as a graduate of the University of Reading, descend the platform, hopefully to rapturous applause from the audience, collect your certificate from the right, and return to your seat. This congregation is steeped in history and tradition, but above all, it's a joyous occasion where we celebrate the achievements of all of those processing. So let's show our appreciation for each and every one of our graduates.
By the authority of the Council and of the Senate of the University of Reading, this congregation has been summoned for the conferment of degrees. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, candidates will now be presented for their degrees. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these candidates to whom the degree of Doctor of Philosophy has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of this university.
Zakia Ahmed Al-Disiki. Brooke Lynn Besserson. Julie Susan Brixey Williams. Gabriella Kefalou. Bessam Fawad Fellenban. Abigail Molly Gazard. Pokai Guo. Susan Oluwayes Misi Iga. Arjun Kara. Esther Oluwatoyin Olorunda. Bodil Mustad Olsen. Rani Om Prakash. Jas Kaur Rai. Jung Yun Ro. Johanna Taha. Teresa Azin Odafia. Ailun Wang. Louis David Yardi. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these candidates to whom the degree of Master of Arts has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Master of Arts at this university.
Communication Design, Graphic Design, Shanze Adnan. Rana Jeris Musa Al Mualim. Prachiode Busala. Amina Nasser Aif Dala Ali. Clara Emily Everest. Emi Ida. Claire Natasha Jones. Maum Kanran. Felix John Alexander Woodward. Communication Design, Typeface Design, Futu Almutawa. Diego Cristobal Aravena Silo. Shagaye Bovand. Kajama Chakma. Anna Damoli. Ahmed Berker Demir. Richard James MacDonald. Mohammed Tariq Siaki. Xi Cheng Yang. Creative Enterprise Art. Yuping Guan. Malitza Tisharich. Creative Enterprise Film. Neve Jane Blackburn. Anna Maria Iskru. Aidan Schuster. Creative Enterprise Theatre, Samuel George Bunn. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these candidates to whom the degree of Master of Arts has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Master of Arts of this university.
Creative Enterprise Theatre, Finley George Hardy. Emma Narita. Fine Art, Hanbo Hay. Amani Taresh. Fangru Zhao. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present you these candidates to whom the degree of Master of Science has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Master of Science of this university.
Language Sciences, Louise Adams. Mohammed Asif Bashar Chinur. Arak Det Yong. Athira Mangalath Padmakamua. Ashlyn Peter Clement. Anesha Rahataran. Maria Sokoflikas. Molecular Medicine, Manreet Beer. Albert Campus. Maria Veronica Diaz Alonso. Keris Fisher. Eleanor Marie McCarthy. James Lee Newman. Zara Stewart. Ajit Madhusukan Kustagi. Arav Mahipal Parmav. Investment Management, Luca Fucaro. Real Estate Finance, Jung Hwan Seo. Species Identification and Survey Skills, Max Abbott. Alice Hicks. Ruby Hill. Stephen David Kenny. Molly Elizabeth Kirk. Esme Elizabeth Rebecca Langford. Caitlin Jan Nightingale. Joe Pepper. Amy Elizabeth Perks. Thomas Scott. Daniel Robert John Watkinson. Harriet Wishart. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these candidates to whom the degree of Master of Science has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Master of Science of this university.
Speech and Language Therapy. Sophie Elizabeth Arthur. Emma Charlotte Bailey. Alice Ruth Blackburn. Kalina Barbara Collins. Samantha Ann Leslie Griffiths. Jemima Rose Clesel. Nihal Asgarali Malu. Georgina Mumford. Megan Parnell. Eden India Rendell. Sally Rombau. Sarah Thomas. Leah Marie Trevelyan. Natalia Rini Valier Durham. Gladys Vanessa Witella. Anna Wallop. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these candidates to whom the degree of Master of Arts by Research has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Master of Arts by Research of this university.
Film, Theatre and Television, Coral Willis. Typography and Graphic Communication, Abir Azishan. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these candidates to whom the degree of Master of Science by Research has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Master of Science by Research of this university.
Biomedicine, Yasmin Abrahams. Henry Milne. Alexander Tennant Smith. Inessa Veshchikova. Hayley Ann Willey. Entomology, Jana Connolly. Leah Mary Griffiths. Melanie Shears. Matthew Sparks. Susanna Topple. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these candidates to whom the degree of Master of Science Integrated has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Master of Science Integrated of this university.
Speech and Language Therapy, Amelia Gova. Lania Quatermain. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these candidates to whom the degree of Bachelor of Arts has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Bachelor of Arts of this university.
Art, Sadia Ali. Art and Psychology, Louise Mary Harrington. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these candidates to whom the degree of Bachelor of Arts has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Bachelor of Arts of this university.
Art and Psychology, Chloe Pink. Film, Jacob Burrows. Robert Crowley. Sarah Frimpong. William Watson. Theatre, Richard Hayes Thompson. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these candidates to whom the degree of Bachelor of Science has been awarded.
I admit each of you to the degree of Bachelor of Science of this university.
Biochemistry, Cynthia Ying Min Chin. Ishak Musa. Samuel Smith. Biological Sciences, Edward Neary. John Rowland Slater. Edward Charles Tyso. Biomedical Sciences, Shivraj Bala. Kathleen Yao Anga Frederick Murray Dugan. Edward Stephen Harnden. Jessica Hodnett. Fatima Rosin Vaj Izzadeen. Divak Sivashan Muganathan. Ecology and Wildlife Conservation, Elijah Bird. Kamran Jai Patel. Max and Will Sanford Evans. Danny Jo Saunders. Geography, Human and Physical, Josephine Lacey. Zoology, Anusha Mili Raya Bagani. Lawrence Collins. Eve Macaulay. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, it has been agreed that the remaining candidates be admitted in absence.
I admit each of these candidates to the relevant qualification of this university.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Simon Clarke will now present Tom Clarke for the honorary degree of Doctor of Science. We now welcome Tom Clarke to the platform.
Cast your minds back to the height of the coronavirus pandemic in 2020. We all watched on, concerned with as the global case numbers went up day by day. We were worrying about the health of our families and our friends, and we were wondering how it was all going to end. You probably had lots of questions about how the crisis was being handled. Fortunately, there was someone to ask the questions for us. At daily media briefings from Downing Street, you may remember seeing Tom Clarke, the then science editor for ITV News, who along with his colleagues from the media grilled Boris Johnson and his scientific advisors about every aspect of the outbreak. How many new cases were there? What was the impact of lockdown? How do we know whether face masks would stop us getting sick? How soon would we have vaccines to protect us? Hopefully, the science editor of ITV News knows a thing or two about science. And Tom Clarke graduated from Reading in 1994 with a BSc in zoology, following that up with an MSc in entomology at Louisiana State University and an MA in journalism from New York University. His career in journalism started at Nature, the world's largest science magazine, and in 2003, Tom joined ITN, becoming science editor at Channel 4 News and subsequently ITV News before moving to fulfill the same role at Sky News last year. His face and voice became familiar during the pandemic, but Tom has been breaking major science stories for years, and he's also worked to improve the public understanding of science and keeping scientific literacy high in broadcast journalism. Tom is a mentor for the John Schofield Trust, which works to improve social mobility in UK broadcast newsrooms through mentoring schemes for early career and apprentice journalists. He has also sat on the board of Wicked Weather Watch, a charity devoted to getting the topic of climate change into our primary school curricula. At ITN, Tom was nominated for a prestigious Royal Television Society Award for his investigative work on Tamiflu, a drug developed to treat influenza. He spent many years reporting on a range of major scientific stories, from investigating technical flaws in the design of Grenfell Tower and potential flaws in the design of the Hinkley Point nuclear reactor, to reporting on the ground during the Ebola crisis in Sierra Leone and analysing the unprecedented speed of Arctic warming, and following the most ambitious Alzheimer's trial in a remote village in Colombia where nearly everyone had the disease. He's also reported for Channel 4's Dispatches programme and NPR's Science Friday programme in the United States. But it was the COVID-19 pandemic that demonstrated the vital importance of sensible and balanced news journalism during times of crisis, both to inform the public and hold decision makers to account. The world got through the pandemic due to the work of scientists and medics developing vaccines and treating those who were ill. But the whole population needed to understand what was going on. Without skilled science communicators to tell the story, the world would have been left dangerously in the dark about what was happening. And when it comes to explaining perhaps the biggest challenge of our generation, that of climate change, Tom is a clear leader in his field. He has continued to support the University of Reading, not only by working with colleagues and with me, but also by supporting our Climate Change Summit in 2021 and guest lecturing on our online alumni lecture series in the spring of 2021. Academic research in general, and science in particular, can be complicated, expensive and messy. Yet it is often funded by ordinary people through their taxes and has a major impact on people's lives. Thanks to the efforts of Tom Clarke and his colleagues, people in the UK and around the world have a better understanding of how science is discovering new things and changing the world around us. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present Tom Clarke for the honorary degree of Doctor of Science of this university.
By the authority of the University of Reading, I admit you to the honorary degree of Doctor of Science of this university. Well, the joy and pride that I see as I look around the Great Hall is absolutely wonderful, and so you should be proud. A university degree is a huge achievement that requires persistence and resilience, and it deserves celebration. So let's give our graduates one final round of applause. I'd also like to acknowledge those who've helped you along the way, your family and friends, the academic colleagues on the stage behind me, the many professional services staff, support staff who've helped you along the way. They've inspired you, challenged you, supported you, stood by you. So let's just take a moment to thank them. Now, a joyous occasion like this traditionally calls for a few words of wisdom to carry with you as you navigate the next steps in your lives. It's sometimes used as an opportunity for some political commentary, but I can assure you I'm not going to do that. What I will do is share 3 principles that are important to me that I hope will resonate with you. And they are resilience, respect, and responsibility. So resilience has become a bit of a buzzword over the last few years as we've faced hardship and challenge, and in some cases loss. And although resilience stems from hardship and challenge, it's rooted in a desire to survive, even thrive. And it's even better when that survival is nurtured by the collective support of others. The writer Gregory Williams summed up resilience when he said that on the other side of a storm is the strength that comes from having navigated through it. So set your sails and begin. Every day brings the possibility of obstacles, of trials, of challenges, of failures that might discourage us. But it also brings new opportunities, new challenges, new adventures, new ways of doing things that won't necessarily work, and new directions to set your sail towards. The American inventor Thomas Edison had to make thousands of prototypes for every one of his inventions before he finally got them right. But he didn't let that put him off. He famously said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work. And this year we lost Her Majesty the Queen. And whether you're a royalist or not, it's hard to deny that she was a symbol of much needed unity and stability. She once said that when life seems hard, the courageous do not lie down and accept defeat, but they are all the more determined to struggle for a better future. So graduates, whether you face struggles and challenges, the fact that you're here today is a testament to your perseverance and resilience, and we couldn't be more proud of you. My second principle is respect, and I want to illustrate that with the story of Bletchley Park, an English country mansion not far from Milton Keynes. And if you know a little bit about World War II history, or you've seen the film Imitation Game, you'll know that Bletchley Park was the secret centre of Allied code breaking during the Second World War. And the code breakers who worked there were absolutely critical to the war effort. At the very beginning, a man called Alistair Denniston was responsible for the recruitment, and he set out looking for men of the professor type. And then that, of course, included the mathematician Alan Turing. But towards the end, when many men had gone to war, about 3/4 of the code breakers were women with degrees in physics, engineering, maths, but many with a strong background in languages. And there's pretty good evidence to suggest that if it hadn't been for the code breaking at Bletchley Park, the war might have lasted somewhere between 2 and 4 years longer, and the outcome might even have been different. So the code-breaking work at Bletchley Park quite literally saved thousands, if not millions, of lives and could have changed the outcome of the war. But just as important as what was achieved at Bletchley was how it was done. And if you visit Bletchley, you might see a plaque just inside the entrance, opposite the gift shop. It says this: Bletchley Park was a melting pot of brilliant minds set free by an atmosphere of tolerance. Societal norms were swept aside. What mattered was what people could do, not their gender, sexuality, religion, or any supposed eccentricity. By removing these artificial constraints, Bletchley Park brought out the best in the fullest range of talent. In this sense, Bletchley's code-breaking success came not in spite of people's differences, but because of them. It's a compelling model for the power of diversity that resonates more than ever today. What an inspiring blueprint for us all. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. It's what you do that matters. And my third and final principle is responsibility. Now, I grew up in an environment that actively discouraged education for girls, My mother was never allowed to go to school or to learn to read and write, and it made me all the more determined not just to get an education, but to champion equality in higher education and to step into places where women of colour are either lacking or completely absent. It was a simple question of responsibility, because if you're not prepared to step up and be the change you want to see, how can you ever expect change to happen? All over the world, University of Reading alumni, like Tom, are doing amazing things to make change happen, and you now join their ranks. So use that privilege. Listen to voices that are different from your own. Harness the diversity of talent around you. Be the change you want to see. It's been a privilege to have been part of your journey. Welcome to our alumni family. Thank you. Graduates and guests, please be upstanding as I declare this ceremony closed.